Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a trading review and support session for May the 24th, 2023. We are kind of in that mood where, the market's getting a little bit more nervous about the budget deficit and getting the deficit spending or the spending bill passed and the debt limit raised. So let's see. The market has been in a fairly good mood. Let's see. Of course, it wasn't too much of a good mood the last couple of days as anxiety started. So this is today, right? So yesterday was a pretty big down day when they didn't seem to be very close and coming into today. And the words today were a little bit more positive, but they still don't have a deal, right? But it actually did. So it went down to the area, into the area, as you can see the 50-day moving average, but it did bounce back okay. Certainly, it was still a kind of a down day on a trading hours basis. Well, 24-hour basis, it was kind of close. Let's take a look at the big picture chart. It was pretty much, when we first looked at it this morning, it was pretty much down, right? So this is what we were looking at when we started, right? And the market opened about here. So as you can see, the market continued to go down. I took all my trades to the short side today. Was not even interested based on what's going on into the long side at all. But what I did say, and we'll review it in a moment, at about 8:20ish in this time frame, right? It did pop up a little bit. We'll take a look at that, and then again towards the end of the day, a similar phenomena happened. We'll take a look. We'll just pop over to that area and take a look at that as well. So, starting the morning, really not much in the way of scheduled news at all, but market was not in a good mood. So let me just double check something real quick. Yeah, we didn't have any. Yellen was speaking at about 7:05. She wasn't testifying; she was just in a panel discussion. So again, didn't get faked out here at all on this this move. A little bit moved to the upside, so started to come back down into this area. So I took a trade there, and it worked. And today I was, trying to control my aggression. I talked about, I certainly don't have any fear. I don't have any greed in the sense that I'm willing to stop trading, but sometimes I get a little bit too aggressive on the entry. So try not to do that. So there was one trade. Let this go since I wasn't in favor of the long side at all today. And then took another trade here. Let's see, where's my ear? Oh, here. Took a trade here and was out down here. So that was the first one. Then a little bit of a pullback, and then I took another trade. Let's see, I was out here. So let's see. Well, I can't find these white arrows get lost so bad. Oh, there it is, right there. Right. So there was the entry. And then out there. So there was 3 points. I let this one go. I mean, this one looks just as good as these two, but I was up 3 points, and I was trying to make sure I wasn't over trading. So that one went just fine. And let's see. So I'm up 3 at that point. Then I finally did take another trade. Let's see, I'm out here, so I'm looking for my, here's another. And I said, maybe this is a little bit more aggressive than I wanted to be, but they did pop up to the EMA and then got an immediate rejection. Had to wait just a little bit, so I was out down here in the new low, and then I that I wasn't as quick as I should have been. Did the same thing here, kind of big up and an instant rejection. I wasn't quite looking at it fast enough, so I didn't get in until where's my arrow at? Here. Right, this is late, right? Yeah, I did wait till it got back under Ultraflex, but here was the pop up. There was the rejection, so I could have maybe gotten in at about 30 and a quarter, and I would have been out. Well, who knows? I don't know if I would have been filled here or not, but this is about where I got in, one tick above the L session low at that particular time. So I had to add to it, again, coming up to the EMA, dropping back down. And so I got out of one, and then I was waiting, right? I didn't get out of the second one because it either didn't hit or didn't get out. So I decided to bring in the second unit up to the same price I got out of the first one. So it didn't quite make as much money. Of course, the market wasn't happy today. It came on back down. Let's see. I let 7 o'clock and Yellen get going on, and so I don't think this was the Yellen trade, but I took another one, maybe a little bit late, but I just kind of let that one go, and didn't add to it, and it was out there because I didn't think the market was very happy, and the market wasn't very happy at that point. And then I think I got one more trade. Where was it at? Oh, here. Oh, no, two more trades. Okay, so this one maybe was a little bit early. So this one was coming back up, right? It got as far as the 2x20 and then coming back down. I was a little bit, it's kind of late for this move. I could have maybe waited to over here, right, when the flexes were a little bit more aligned. And so since I thought I was a little bit early, I only took 2 ticks of profit on this trade, but at least I got out with 2 ticks. It would have been fine. Here's the Yellen trade, and I wasn't necessarily looking at the market really closely at that particular point. So I got in kind of there and then got out for a point, and that was my last trade. It would have been a little bit better had I been paying attention and caught it in here sometime, and it would have been out easier, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Oh, I did have to add to it though. He got out here, added one to it there, and then out there. So that was my last trade of the day. So no real stresses, and up 7.5, and primarily I probably could have done a couple more trades, but I'm trying also not to overtrade. All right, any questions on that? I do want to kind of go over to that 820-ish area, just so I could show you that, get that into your brain. Okay, so let me scroll over. So the time for let me go over a little bit more. So as you can see, well, here, right? So this is what I call being in time alignment in one direction. So here's the minute, here's the 2x20, which is a little bit slower. There's the 3 minute, which is a little bit slower than that, and here's the 5 minute up there, which is even slower, right? So when those three are aligned in that manner, then that's kind of what I call a time trend alignment. And so it's when they're like that, you should maybe wait until you get a pretty good alignment, or at least something that takes the that alignment completely away, at least in terms of price action. And here is where it did that. All right, let me get rid of that. So as you can see, right, now we're not time aligned to the upside, right, because the minute average is still down here, right? But as you can see, there's no longer, I mean, it tried the 5 minute moving average here, right? That didn't work. Tried it again here. So there's the 6. and here comes the third try, right? We've talked about that many times. Sometimes it takes the third try to get through. But notice that it's the last, absolutely the last time alignment barrier it's got to go through. So that's it. If it's willing to punch through there, and the AVR is positive in that time frame, then that's when you could say, okay, well, I better lay off shorts, and maybe you could even take a long trade if you so desired, and that would have worked. So that area shows the type of a market reversal, and it did for a while, for a little while. It doesn't mean that they're going to go all the way back up at all, but there is some pop in the market there, and let me show you. And then it falls back down, and it's just kind of in a range, and even gets a little bit angrier as a little bit later in the morning. But let me go show you. I think it was after 12 where that similar scenario. I mean, here's kind of the opposite scenario as well, right? It's been up. Now here's all the moving averages kind of clustered together, right? And now we're breaking down back down through it, right? So there's good movement there as well. But let me go back. Now, this is not necessarily a consistent trend here yet, and it doesn't happen until after noon. So let me continue to go. Well, here's one. Here's another similar, right? So breaking back through all the time-based things with volume, right? See, we get a little bit more. Doesn't mean it's going to go all the way up, right? It stopped at that point, which I think is probably S2. And let's continue on. Getting closer. I know it was after. See, here it is. All right, sometimes at the end of the day, right, they have a different opinion. Let me try to back this up a little bit, because it takes some of the high out of it so we can see it a little bit better. All right, so once again, here's all the time alignment here, right? All the fluxes are aligned up, right? It kind of breaks through the 2x200, right? And so that's another area where that kind of phenomena of breaking through all the time things mattered. And the catcher here is it's also getting late in the day, right? So if they're going to try to recover some, that's a fairly good time for them to start trying to recover some, and they kind of did. And this is why it got closer to not being a really bad down day, right? So, and then once it gets in this area, there are some potentials for pushes, but the people are going to start changing their mind or something. They don't. I mean, sometimes. I mean, it didn't hold today. Sometimes it holds through the close, and then we'll talk about this. NVIDIA reported, the graphic semiconductor company reported better than expected earnings. They're a pretty big company now. They're annually they're around this $30 billion company now. So they reported pretty good earnings, beat sales, beat earnings, and the market just kind of popped. So its market still kind of up there a little bit. It was as high as 41.57. So if we were to scroll back over, right, it even went higher. It's making new Globex highs. All right, so I think this is the end of the move, right? So 41.57. This is the market restart again, and it's kind of come down from there. But anyway, we'll see what the effect of NVIDIA has tomorrow. But overall, it's still the debt ceiling. That's kind of got the market's hanging in there. I mean, so yeah, it's got spooked for the last couple of days. Let's go back to the daily. Got spooked for the last couple of days, but overall, with this much anxiety over a potential default, and I don't think we will, right? I mean, the politicians are crazy, but they're not stupid. They'll get their heads handed to them if they don't get this debt ceiling taken care of. But it's trying to hang in there. It's trying to hang in there. So we just need to make sure we're not over trading too much, because once they get a deal, it will pop one direction or another. All right, so that's all I've got tonight. Any questions on that or anything else? I don't have any. Question was, do I have any vacation plans? I don't have any vacation planned right now. Um, let's see. This is May, right? So no plans as of right now. Family's starting to talk about it, but we don't even have much. Not even picking out a date. We don't even have a destination picked out. Talking about maybe another big family vacation, but it's pretty early. I'll let you know if anything materializes that as soon as I know. But no plans yet. You got any other plans, or was your last trip going to do it for a while? Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do international this year or not. If the whole big family goes, then probably it probably won't be a Europe trip. It'll be somewhere domestic. I wouldn't mind taking a little trip somewhere, but um, the we just haven't got that organized yet either. Got some other things working that we need to get done before we can take off for a while. But certainly would like to. The desire is there. All right. Anything else? If not, I'll keep everybody informed on. Okay. That'd be a nice trip. I wouldn't mind just getting away to. I mean, we're in Tucson. I wouldn't mind getting away for a long weekend. Exactly. To maybe just like to San Diego or something. Maybe when it gets really hot here, we can take a little trip to get into Southern California where it's a little bit cooler or something. We our son lives up in Washington State. We've been talking about going there. We haven't. He's lived there for a little while. They bought a house, but we haven't visited yet. So we've talked about going to Washington State. Um, but that's kind of my wife doesn't fly anymore, so it can be cooler there. Alrighty, so I think that's probably it. So make your plans, and I don't think we're too close to being able to finalize anything on our end, but I'll let you know when we do. All right, have a good evening, and hopefully we'll see you soon.